Hello, welcome to another episode of Webcam Sessions. Since I've started doing this series, I've gotten a lot of comments about different things that people would like to see, and I think the most requested thing are involving practice habits and things to do when practicing and all of that. And we're going to talk a little bit about one of my favorite little warm-up routines today, and we're also going to talk much more about practicing as we move forward through this, this series, so that we can really create really well-structured practice habits that allow you to kind of continue building a foundation of techniques while also not, removing the fun from it. A lot of times practice can get really boring if you're working on something that's not quite a lot of fun. And so finding that balance is very important. But we'll talk more about that at another time. Today we're going to talk about a technique called the Catepillar technique. And this is a kind of almost a scale exercise that you can do with your ukulele that I think is one of the best warm-up routines for the standpoint of fretting with your fretting hand, as well as plucking with your plucking hand, to be able to use them together and to build up some speed while doing so. It allows you to literally play every fret on every string all the way up to the 12th fret, so it's pretty cool. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. So to start this technique, we're going to actually start it with our A string, which is the one on the closest to the bottom. We're going to play that open A. And now what we're going to practice doing is playing every fret all the way up till the 12th fret in a kind of cool sequential order. So we start here by talking about what we play the A string with. If you're a finger picker, you might be using a finger here. You might be using your thumb. And what I'd like you to try to do right now is use your thumb. And the reason is the thumb is going to give you kind of the most force behind it. It's the easiest finger to get a good tone with. You may get a better tone with another finger due to practice, but the thumb will be easier to get a good tone with than that finger was initially to work with. And what I want you to try to do is play the thumb about where the sound hole and the fretboard meet, and try to do about a 45-degree angle with the thumb to that. Now you can change this. It can be a little bit more perpendicular down the sound hole. It can be a little bit more parallel up the fretboard, but as a general rule, we want about that 45 degrees. And what I like to do is actually cup the ukulele with my fingers like so, using the tips of my fingers to brace the ukulele. So I'm not grabbing it like this, but rather just those tips grabbing the A string. You'll notice I like to put my pinky in this little wedge here, my ring finger just outside the wedge, middle finger barely touches the outside, and index finger is sort of just floating. But depending on your hand size as well as the ukulele size you're playing, you may change that a little bit. But again, just trying to get that 45 degrees with the thumb right about where the fretboard and the sound hole meet. So that's what we're going to do for the whole time with our strumming picking hand. And now let's go ahead and try the actual motion with our fretting hand. So we're going to play the open A. Now we're going to take our index finger, place on the first fret of the A string. And if you haven't fretted much on the first fret before, try to get a little closer to the wire here rather than back here. It's a little easier to fret the closer you are to the wire. So if you're playing a chord and you're having trouble with it, that can also help. So play the first fret, and now we're going to place our middle finger on the second fret, play that. And then our ring on the third, and then our pinky on the fourth. So we played open, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now the name Catepillar comes from what we're about to do next. We're actually going to take our index finger, pivot it up 1 fret, and move the other fingers off. So now we're going to play fret 2 with our index finger. And then we're going to do 3 with our middle, 4 with our ring, 5 with our pinky. So let's just try that much again, starting from the top. So we go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to 2 with the index, take off the other fingers. 2, 3, 4, 5. And the trick is to not have any space between these notes, so it should sound like this. Now the trick is we continue moving up the fretboard. So now we go pivot our index finger up to 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, pivot up to 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, 11, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we go all the way till the 12th fret, and that's the point that we're going to then work on descending. But before we talk about the descent, let's go ahead and try that again, and let's try it together, nice and slow, just to really get it comfortable. So I'm going to say the number as I'm playing it, and I want you to try to play along. So here we go. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, 11, 9, 10, 11, 12. So what's interesting about this is it can be really tricky to pivot up each time. So you just want to get really comfortable with that. Now, it gets the same Catepillar because if you look at what I'm doing here and I do it just a little bit more quickly, watch what my fingers look like on the fretboard. And this is an awkward angle, so if I make a mistake, you'll know why. And it's probably because, I didn't warm up before doing this video. This is a great warm-up technique, so it's good I'm doing it now. So here we go. We're going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what you'll notice when I do this is my finger kind of looks like a caterpillar walking right now, right? The other fingers are following suit. And I know I went all the way to 13 there. I couldn't quite see my fingers, but you get the gist, right? We can start walking up like a caterpillar. Now, the trick is, once we're at 12, right? 12, not 13, but once we're at 12, we're going to have our pinky up here. We're going to play the pinky at 12. Now we're going to put our ring finger on 11, and then middle on 10, and then index on 9. Right? So it goes 12, 11, 10, 9. And now what we're going to do is take our pinky and move it over to 11. So one below where we started. So starts at 12, then goes to 11. We'll go 11, 10, 9, 8. So it's this nice descending path. So we've got 12, 11, 10, 9. Move the pinky to 11. 11, 10, 9, 8. And then we go to 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 9, 8, 7, 6, continuing. So I went down to 9, now down to 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 7, 6, 5, 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And that's how we play it all open. And when you watch this I think is really where it gets its name, the Catepillar exercise. If you look at my fingers right now, looks like a caterpillar now walking down. So when you move up, and then you move back down, it looks like a caterpillar kind of walking around on your fretboard, hence the name. So let's go ahead and try the descending, and let's try this together nice and slow. I think that this is probably twice as hard as the ascending, just because you're now leading with your pinky, oddly enough, right? Because your pinky is the one that's moving down. So it takes a lot of practice to get comfortable. But let's go ahead and try playing it together nice and slow. So starting with our pinky on 12, ring on 11, middle on 10, index on 9. Here we go. 12, 11, 10, 9, pinky on 11, 10, 9, 8, 10, 9, 8, 7, 9, 8, 7, 6, 8, 7, 6, 5, 7, 6, 5, 4, 6, 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. So I took that one just a little slower because I do think it's quite a bit harder. So we go all the way up, and then we go back down, and then we repeat for each and every string. So we do the same exercise with the E string. And what you'll notice that's difficult about the E string is the fact that it's now in between. So with your playing hand, it can be a little more tricky to hit just that E string and try to not hit the A or the C as well. And so that's kind of the new challenge with it. It's also, I think, just a little bit more difficult fretting in there just because it's a more limited space. When you're doing the A string, it's at the bottom, and now when you're in the E, you have to be a little bit more exact. Now the G string, I think, is also tricky for much the same reason. It's just not as friendly of a string. The A string we typically use more. So same exercise here. We want to move all the way through on the C string. Now the last one is the G string, and the G string I find really tricky because of its proximity to the other strings, because it's up top. You kind of have to angle your hand in a way that's not usually comfortable, and the fretting feels kind of funny. And one thing I'll say is it's okay for your fretting hand here to not be perfectly exact like this, but be touching the other strings. And this really applies for the C and even the E string too. Because we're only playing a single string, it's okay for that finger to actually be touching the other strings, because if we're trying to do it like this, it's really difficult on the hand. So having it at that recessed angle, as long as you're fretting the string correctly, that's all that matters. So we can do it with the G string as well in the exact same way. So that's the Catepillar exercise. It's one of my favorite warm-up routines. I think that it's a really good one just to get your fingers active, to get things warmed up. And it also encourages some kind of scale concepts too, which is nice. I think it's a little bit more fun than playing a scale, but see how you like it. Be sure to leave a comment below if you have a warm-up routine that you love similar to the Catepillar exercise. And be sure to check out the strumming course that's currently on sale with Ukulele Underground. And we're doing a holiday special on the ultimate ukulele strumming course. So check that out. The link is right here, and see if there's anything there that would help you with your strumming and your playing. There's a few different things included in the bundle right now. And this is kind of our last episode before some of the holiday stuff. Christmas will take place between this and the next episode. So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, happy whatever it is you celebrate. Today I think is winter solstice, so happy that as well. I hope you guys have a very safe and happy holiday season. And I will see you next week. Be sure, again, to leave a comment below if you have any questions. Go ahead and hit that like button, and we'll talk to you really soon. So thanks so much, and have a wonderful time.